Hi everyone, welcome to the Tallinn Song Festival grounds. We're going to kick off with Hannes Härmküla in Estonian. Hannes will talk to representatives from the Ironman Estonia organization, representatives from the city of Tallinn, and naturally we couldn't have an Ironman press conference without a few triathletes, and so they will get on stage too. Then after that block, we'll move on to the English or international part, and where we'll hear from representatives from the Ironman Group and Ironman Estonia, also the Undersecretary of Sports, and then we'll open up the floor to the media for some Q&A. So, Hannes, please.
Aitäh, Robson, thank you. Nii, me alustame siis eestikeelse osaga ja nii nagu öeldud, pärast läheb see ingliskeelse peale. Nii et kõigepealt ma siis paluksingi siia ülesse laua taha, nii nagu meil sildid ütlevad, kõigepealt Tallinna linnapea Mihhail Kõlvart, palun. Siis me Ain-Alar Johanson, Ironmani peakorraldaja ja kaks meie suurepärast atleeti, kes võtavad teineteisest mõõtu, nagu ma aru saan, Henri Räppo ja Kevin Vabaorg. Palun võtke positsioonid sisse, leiate, jah. Ain on siin ja Kevin, sina oled viimane, Henri on pärast. On linnapea kõrval. Nii, suur sündmus on taas tulemas. Mina olen väga elevil. Saab jälle võistelda natukene Ain. Nüüd on väiksed muudatused, kuidas ettevalmistused on läinud. Võistluskeskus on hoopis uus. Mina olen ülielevil, sest et väidetavalt saab kiiremini. Mul on täpselt 20 minutit puudu oma sõbra ajast, nii et palun Ain.
Aitäh, Hannes, ja ma tean, et sa oled väga tõsine triatlet ja ootad põnevusega seda, mis võistlustel toimuma hakkab. Jah, meil võistluskeskusega seoses on terve rida muudatusi. Võistluskeskus kolib Lennusadama külje alt siis Rocca al Mare keskuse ette suurde parklasse ja seal saab olema siis ka teine vahetusala ja kõik, mis on seotud siis finiši, registratuuri ja kõige muude teenustega või tegevustega, mis võistluse seoses on. Samuti muutub ka siis rattarada ja ka jooksurada. Et nendest me kindlasti ka räägime tänasel päeval, aga mis kõige olulisem on see, et oma võistluste disainimises või korraldamise juures me kuulame oma osalejaid. Me teeme iga aasta osalejate küsitluse ja sealt tuleb tagasiside, mis inimestele meeldib, mis mitte ja me oleme saanud ka seda tagasisidet päris mitmeti, et võistlusrada on, mis seni on olnud, on hästi paljude pööretega, keeruline ja pisut aeglane või selles mõttes spordi mõistes mitte kõige kiirem. Ja ma usun, et need rajad, mida me täna oleme disaininud siis Rocca al Mare keskuse juurde ja sellega seondud siis ratta- ja jooksurada, on kindlasti oluliselt kiiremad, mis meil seni on olnud. Ja kui me juba olime maailma taseme juures seal suhteliselt kiirete radade juures, siis on oodata eriti sel aastal, kus võistluse stardis on ka profisportlased, kaasa arvatud Eesti tipud, on oodata kindlasti väga kiireid aegu, sest Ironman 70,3 Euroopa meistrivõistlused toimuvad augusti alguses, ehk siis 6. augustil ja täpselt 3 nädalat hiljem toimuvad lahtis siinsamas üle lahe Ironman 70,3 maailmameistrivõistlused. Ehk et hea võimalus profidel teha testivõistlus siin Eestis.
No kui rada läheb kiiremaks, märgavad, kui palju?
No seda on raske niimoodi öelda, ma arvan, et see oleneb paljuski sellest, kes seda rada läbib, aga põhimõtteliselt raja kiirus, ütleme see keskmised kiirused tõusevad oluliselt, eriti rattas, sest ratta lõpp oli meil eelnevalt läbi siis Põhja-Tallinna erinevate kergliiklustee tänavate pööretega, lüüsidega ja suhteliselt mitte kõige kiirem viis vahetusala jõudmiseks, siis täna ma usun, et ei ole mingit takistust sõita rattadistantsil, ütleme, kui 70,3 distantsil räägime ajast, siis alla 2 tunni aega, mis on siis 45+ kilomeetrit tunnis. Ja ma usun, et sama on ka jooksu kohta käib, kus tegelikult jooksurada on küll jah, 2 tagasipöördega või 3 tagasipöördega ringi kohta, aga selle eest hästi ilusti looklev, kiire, sile rada ja ma usun, et ka sellel distantsil joostakse maailma tippu kuuluvaid aegu, mis jäävad kindlasti alla 1 tunni ja 10 minuti poole maratoni kohta ja ma usun, et üldaeg loomulikult jääb sinna 3,5 tunni kohta, kui me räägime profitriatleetidest ja lühikesest või Ironman 70,3 distantsist.
Selge, aitäh! Ain. Mihhail Kõlvart, miks tuli ära kolida Tallinna ilusast kesklinnast? See on meie trademark. Me toome külalised siia, me saame vanalinna näidata. Nüüd me läheme Ülemiste või sinna, Rocca al Maresse. Mis see linna jaoks tähendab see muudatus?
No, eelkõige see tähendab seda, kui eelmisel aastal suurem peavalu oli ühes linnaosas, nüüd teises linnaosas. Ja seda tulebki jagada, et me suudaksime jätkuvalt pakkuda inimestele ka positiivset emotsioone. Aga kui rääkida tõsiselt, et ma arvan, et see on väga õige lähenemine. Tulebki neid erinevaid skeeme proovida ja see kindlasti pakub täiendavat väljakutset korraldajatele, aga samas osalejatele iga uus pilt toob ka uusi emotsioone ja koos sellega toob ka uusi osalejaid. Ja ma arvan, see ongi see eesmärk. Ja ükski asi ei saa olla stabiilne, kas asi areneb või vastupidi. Ja sellepärast seda arengut ongi vaja.
Kas on see seotud ka nende suht suurte liiklustöödega, trammiliinide rajamistega, mis vanalinnas ja kesklinnas praegu on?
Nojah, see ongi eesmärk, et üks osa ebamugavustest tuleb linnavalitsuse poolt ja teine osa tuleb Ironmani korraldajate poolt.
Kahe tule vahel, nagu ma aru saan. Ain mainis korduvalt, et EM, Euroopa meistrivõistlused triatlonis, mis see linna jaoks tähendab? On see kuidagi teistsugusem kui lihtsalt need Ironmanid, mis siiamaani on olnud? Kuidas linn sellele vaatab?
Et ambitsiooni tuleb muidugi suurendada. Et Euroopa meistrivõistlused on vaheetapp selleks, et oleks võimalik ka maailma meistrivõistlusi korraldada 2025. aastal.
Aha, ma saan aru, et asjad selles suunas susisevad siis.
Me loodame, et vähemalt see on meie ühine eesmärk. Aga jällegi, et peab olema areng. Ja spordis nii ongi, et nii osalejate või sportlaste vaatevinklist kui ka korraldajate positsioonist. Kui sa soovid arengut, siis sa sead endale ka suuremad eesmärgid. Ja iga eesmärk on tegelikult vaheetapp järgmisteks eesmärgideks. Ja Euroopa meistrivõistlused on suur väljakutse, aga ma näen, et tegelikult meie inimestel on palju suurem potentsiaal ja juba ka suuremad eesmärgid. Ja see on ka tegelikult suuremas plaanis spordiloogika üldse. Sest sport ei ole eesmärgide seadmine, see on protsess.
Kohe ma küsin meie triatleetide käest, aga siia tuleb, ma saan ühe küsimuse lugupeetud linnapees otsa küsida, et kui see peab olema progress ja pidev areng, ma tean, et te olete kõva spordimees, me oleme koos mingeid asju ringvaates teinud, millal siis triatloni rajal teid näha saab? Millal Ain suudab augu pähe rääkida Mihhailile?
Probleem seisneb selles, et tänaseks ma ei ole ainult sportlane või endine sportlane, vaid ka poliitik. Ja kui poliitik midagi lubab, eriti enne valimisi, aga ka peale valimisi, siis see lootus tihti ei ole väga suur. Ja peab tunnistama, et peaaegu iga aasta pressikonverentsidel ma räägin sama juttu. Et ma mäletan, et kunagi me istusime kabinetis, siis ma küsisin, mida see Ironman tähendab ja siis ma ütlesin, et mina kindlasti tahan ükskord osaleda, proovida. Ja siis mulle öeldi, mida see sisuliselt tähendab ja siis ma hakkasin mõtlema ja mõtlen ka praegu. Aga üks päev kindlasti.
No üks päev koidab meie kahele triatleedile, Henri ja Kevin, Henri Räpa, Kevin Vabaorg. Mida see teie jaoks tähendab, et kodus on EM? Ja võtke sealt üks, saate jagada mikrit.
Kindlasti see on väga suur ja tähtis. Kunagi, kui Tartus oli ka Euroopa meistrivõistlused samamoodi Aini korraldatud, siis me olime suht noored ja tegelikult ei osanud hinnata seda, aga nüüd vanemana kindlasti on see väga tähtis.
Vanemana?
Jah.
Too hetk me olime veel juunioriklassis minu meelest, et selles mõttes nüüd on aastaid mööda läinud ja kindlasti kui me saame kodus Tallinnas selle ära teha, kus paljud tuttavad elavad või saame Eesti poolt, siis mujalt tuua siia inimesi juurde, siis see on kindlasti suur publik raja ääres ja ma arvan, võistlejatele annab see päris palju indu juurde, et paremini ja tugevamalt pingutada.
Kuidas te pingutanud olete, kuidas on teie ettevalmistused ja mis ambitsioon teil on? Aga kõigepealt, kuidas ettevalmistused on läinud? Ma tean, et sul on põlvejamad olnud. Henri vist on pääsenud jamadest, aga Kevin?
Jah, sügisel jah, mul oli väike põlvevigastus, aga olen sellest taastunud ja praegu treeningud käivadki siis nii-öelda pikemate distantside suunas. Et siin kevadel tegin juba ühe pooliku ette ja siin juunikuus lähen täispikka tegema ja augustikuus on juba Tallinn, et selles mõttes tuleb põnev aasta minu enda jaoks, sest see on minu esimene aasta, kus ma spetsialiseerun täiesti ainult pikematele distantsidele ja ma ootan huviga seda koduvõistlust, et ma olen küll varem Tallinnas võistelnud, aga kui nüüd on uued rajad, siis nii-öelda tekitab põnevust ja pinget endassegi rohkem.
Henri?
Minu ettevalmistus on ka pigem hästi läinud, küll lõpetan praegu ülikooli, aga loodetavasti juunis on sellega kõik ja saan keskenduda ainult spordile, aga tegelikult praegu ma keskendungi lühikestele distantsidele, et alles tegelikult see ongi minu esimene poolpikk distants, et ma ei oska ausalt öeldes väga midagi oodata sellest, aga kindlasti ma ise arvan, et see sobib mulle ja ütleme, jah.
Tore, siis saate omavahel mõõtu võtta. Üks võitja ja teine parim triatleet, nagu ma aru saan aastas. Nii, üks väga põnev uudis on Raku järv. Ma lõpetasin eelmine aasta Ironmani, minu ees just oli üks ameeriklanna ja siis me muljetasime finišil, ta ütles, et mis järv see on, kus me ujusime praegu? Ma ütlesin, et see on üks järv meil. Raku järv, mis projekt sellega on, kuidas sellega lood on?
Jaa, see on nüüd tegelikult seoses Ironman 70,3 maailmameistrivõistluste siis speeding protsessiga ja loomulikult ka üleüldisema arenguga, nagu härra linnapea mainis, siis meie korraldajatena, endiste sportlastena me püüame kogu aeg olla progressis ja leida neid võimalusi, kuidas võistlust paremini korraldada ja meie puhul oleks meie üks nagu takistus või murekoht on see, et vaatamata sellele, et Tallinn on kindlasti maailma parimaid linne, kus sükest võistlust korraldada, siis ujumiskeskkond või koht, kus ujumisrada panna, siis neid kohti väga palju ei ole, kus temperatuur oleks stabiilne ja kus oleks piisavalt nii-öelda infrastruktuuri kõrval, kus kohas siis seda võistlust läbi viia. Ja me oleme siin koostöös linnaga ja proovinud siis leida neid võimalusi või kohti, kus need olla võiks ja üks nendest võiks olla Raku järv. Ma usun, et kui linn leiab võimalust Raku järve puhkealana välja arendada, mis kogu linna elanikele väga oluline kindlasti on, siis meil võistluste korraldajana ja triatletidena oleks suur au seal ka võistlusi korraldada, nii et ma arvan, et see oleks siuke võib-olla üks positiivseid ja toredaid arenguid edaspidiseks.
Linna kommentaarid, Raku järv, Trapp on vist üks koht, kus kõik harjutavad, kus on Wake Park, aga Raku on vist siis teispool raudteed üle tee, kui ma eksin Männiku teelt.
Alustada ikkagi võiks sellest, et pakkuda Raku järvele lisanimetust, et Ironmani järv. Aga võib-olla tuleb veel midagi teha. Ja kui rääkida tõsiselt, siis Tallinna üheks prioriteediks on rohepuhkealade arendamine. Ja see on tingitud mitte ainult rohepealinna tiitliga, vaid see on ka suurem üldine prioriteet. Ja ma arvan, et viimastel aastatel on ka väga palju tehtud. Ja me praegu räägime konkreetsest üritusest, aga tegelikult see on unikaalne koht, kus oleks võimalik luua vaba aja veetmiseks sellist korralikku infrastruktuuri. Ja võistlused tulevad ja lähevad, aga kui me loome, ja praegu see on ka meie plaan, uut puhkeala, siis see inimestele jääb. Ja muidu suuremas plaanis see on ka turismi arendamise printsiip. Kõik see, mida me teeme selleks, et turismi arendada, isegi kui see on luksuskaup, siis see on mõeldud eelkõige selleks, et seda saaksid meie inimesed kasutada. Ja loomulikult see, mida me arendame, on palju laiem kui lihtsalt võistluste läbiviimiseks paik. Ikkagi jutt on tervest alast.
Jaa, sest et ju hiljuti aasta või paar tagasi tehti kõrval see järv korda, kus on parkimised ja see rand on suht täis suvel, kui ma seal trennigin tegemas, see on ikka päris palju inimesi, et see oleks väga tore. Nii, aga väga meeldiv, aitäh eestikeelse osa eest. We're gonna turn over to English now. Robson, I'll invite you back and
Thank you.
Since you're more fluent in English than I am, go ahead.
Thank you, or aita. I'm working on my Estonian. Let's move on to the English part of the press conference. Ain, as the race director of Ironman Estonia, could you give a brief comment in English on the venue change?
Yes, hello, Robson. About the venue, we will have a significant change on the venue this year for Ironman 70.3 European Championships and Ironman Tallinn. We're moving the race center from Seaplane Harbor towards Rocca al Mare shopping center. This is obviously a great news for all our athletes and participants because now the swim start and the finish area is just close proximity. It's about 2 kilometers between. And also the facilities around are really supporting with great parking and all the other facilities around. So I think it's a great news for all our athletes. And because we're changing the location of our race venue, we're also changing our bike course and our run courses. And for bike courses, we will have a free loop bike course for Ironman distance and 2-loop bike course for Ironman 70.3 distance. And the run course is still 10.5 kilometer loop. For Ironman, it's a 4 loops, and 70.3, it's a 2 loops.
I think we have an animation of that.
Yes.
Now, there are screens for you on the side here. If you wonder why we're looking up, it's because we have a cheat monitor over here, so we can see what you see. But yeah, please.
Yes, we, as mentioned before, the swim start is still in Harku Lake. It's been our swim venue since 2019, and if you can see, the swim start is official beach. The swim loop is changed from previous years. We're going to use 1.9 kilometer swim loop, and that's for 70.3 distance. And we're going to have the same loop, but doing it twice for Ironman distance. This is also the change what we come from, or what we brought from athletes' feedback, because athletes said the previous course was too complicated, too many turns, and we just sit down with our team leaders and to teach the best we can. So basically, for 70.3 there is 2 corners, and for Ironman distance there's going to be 5 of them. So nice and simple, and a good way to spend the time in Harku Lake.
Is there, for the Ironman, is there an Australian exit? Do you get out of the water?
Yes, there is an Aussie exit. Good that you mention it. For Ironman distance, because it's a 2-loop swim, we of course use the Aussie exit after first loop. And then this is located on a transition 1 nearby. And then you're going to head on for a second loop. So, yeah.
Bike course?
For bike course, we used to have a 90-kilometer loop. This time we introduce Ironman 70.3 Tallinn European Championship 90-kilometer distance, which will be held in a 2-loop course. It's mainly in a nearby proximity of Tallinn, using the same roads what we used on a existing course. There is we will go out towards Keila, and then there is a little loop from Väna to Tutermaa, and then all the way back to race center. So it's a unique opportunity for supporters and spectators, and also for athletes to go by the race center midway through the bike course, and it's a good way to share up your favorite athletes and see how the race is developing. So basically, when you are already spectating at the Rocca al Mare Center, you actually can see the race quite a bit from there. And it makes life much easier for our athletes and spectators as well. For Ironman distance, we're going to use the same similar loop as we do for 70.3, but we need to add 15 Ks to have a 60K loop. So what we can do, what our athletes going to do 3 times. So basically the logic is the same. We go out towards Keila, then turning to Väna, and then from Väna there is an out and back a loop that will take athletes towards the sea, and then back again Väna, and going to Tutermaa and back to city. This will be done 3 times. We're going to have a chance to see our Ironman athletes passing by the Rocca al Mare Center 3 times before they actually enter the transition area and start their run. For running, the change is made mostly because the location of the finish area and the transition area is changed, but also because we listen to our athletes. There has been some complaints about having a too complicated run course in Ironman Tallinn before, and some complaints of cobblestones in Old Town, which is always a compromise between or split decision or split comments what we have. Some like it, some doesn't. So we try a bit different this time. We start from Rocca al Mare Center. The athletes will run on the same road where the cyclists basically come in. So it's side by side. So when you finish your bike, you see on the beginning of the run when your competition is coming in. Then you have a turnaround in a Stromi beach, and then run back towards Rocca al Mare, and going a little uphill towards Rocca al Mare School, and then all the way back to Rocca al Mare Center. It's a 10.5 kilometer loop, which will be done for 70.3 athletes for twice, and for Ironman athletes 4 times. And it's definitely much faster than we normally had. And I would say both changes will support much faster courses, and I'm pretty sure our athletes will have their personal bests over here. Especially we're going to have fast races when seeing professional athletes taking part of Ironman 70.3 European Championship in Tallinn in male and female.
So could we conclude that if we look at the altimeter graph for the course, the only right description is flat as a pancake?
There's a little speed bumps between, yeah.
No hills.
No hills.
Exactly.
It is flat. It is really flat and fast. The only maybe a variety will come on a bike course with a wind, maybe, because still it's a coastal area and a bit higher than really in a coast. So there can be a little windy, but the road surface is really good. It is a fast course, nice and simple, and well spectatable, and I think it's a good change for our athletes.
We drove it yesterday. It looks awesome. Henry, Kevin, your first thoughts on the course changes?
I don't actually know what to expect because I have not done this race or distance. So, but yeah, I trust Ain. If it's fast, I like it.
First mistake. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, so I don't know actually what to expect. Yeah.
Okay. Kevin?
Yeah, this is going to be first one because last year we had nationals on the same cycling course, and I think we did it with 57 minutes or something. So it's gonna be fast, maybe under 2 hour cycling, and I think the running part will be maybe under 115 or 110, so it's gonna be a quick one.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a bold prediction. I will write that down and keep you to it. How much, though, when you're racing pros, we now have a course that you can see where the competition is at certain turnaround points. How big of an advantage is that for you? Do you like that, or do you think that's something negative?
You mean to know the course and...
No, when you go on the next lap, you can see who's behind you. If you're in first or second, you can see the distance to the next athlete.
Yeah, that's a good advantage to have because then you will see where the athlete is and what's the distance between you two, and so it's gonna be how can I say, pingeline.
Good.
Okay, good one.
Yeah. Thank you. Kevin, Henry, thank you very much. We will move on and we will make way for the Ironman representatives and, of course, our officials. So please let me, or help me with giving a warm welcome to Shane Facto, Chief Operating Officer of the Ironman Group, Diana Birch, Senior Vice President, World Championship Events, and Henrik Bruvel, Regional Director, North EMEA, and also Tarvi Pyrn, Undersecretary of Sports. So, welcome. Ain, however, we will start with you. You have an announcement to make about what's happening maybe here in the future.
Yes, there is a specific reason why we have such a decorated field or people over here behind this table. We've been working hard with our event organization to always raise the bar and to become a better and better. We are very delighted that we've been offered the chance to organize Ironman 70.3 European Championships this year and the next year. And end of this summer, last summer, we started the conversation with Ironman Group, and we had a chance to be part of the bid process for Ironman 70.3 World Championships in 2025, and that has been also a great honor for our team and for our city and for government and for all our joint work over here. And this process has been going on quite a while. We've been working on different solutions, and right now the Ironman delegation is here to do a site visit for Tallinn and possibilities, opportunities, what we can offer, and to be ready to organize such a big, high-scale event, which will bring together normally about 6,000 athletes, mostly international. It's going to be event for 2 days, 1 day for ladies and 1 day for men. And I think this is the pinnacle of the Ironman events, what race organizers can have over here in Tallinn, because Ironman World Championship is an event which doesn't go around the world. Ironman 70.3 event is something which goes around the world, and there is a possibilities for us to be the final chosen one, which probably will be announced somewhere over the season this year.
So, you're throwing in your hat for the 2025 70.3 World Championships. As I've been very honored to be a part of this since 2018, you definitely have raised the bar. Let's move on to you, Shane. First impressions of Estonia?
Yeah, you guys have a beautiful, beautiful city, and I'm privileged to be here. It's a place that I've wanted to visit for a long time. Obviously, the iconic nature of just this venue alone, this place, really points to the culture and the pride that you guys have in both your community, but also in your country. So I just feel really privileged to see it. Beautiful place, very sportive, obviously. That's why we're here. But we're in our first day of a visit to to look at the venues for 2025, and it's been a privilege to be here thus far.
Shane, what would be the general impact of this event, of a 70.3 World Championship, for the local community and the country?
Yeah, Ein kind of touched on this. This event, that the 70.3 World Championship, we're a global event company. We put on 250 events in 53 countries around the world across multiple different types of events. We are at our beating heart a triathlon company. The Ironman World Championship and the Ironman 70.3 World Championship are the two most important events we put on. And as I mentioned, this is an event that moves. So this is as important as it gets for us. So ultimately, we need to be very sure where we're going to put that event, and it has to be an event that is of the highest caliber. And I think our long-standing partnership with Ein here, Ein's been on the forefront with Ironman within Estonia, first in Otepää, and now here in Tallinn, really has been one of the reasons I think we're so seriously considering this community.
Diana, what is the anticipated economic impact of the 2025 Ironman 70.3 World Championship?
Well, most recently, we held the 2022 Ironman 70.3 World Championship in St. George, Utah, in the United States. And that event had close to 6,000 athletes. On average, each athlete brings 4 guests with them. And they stay not only in the town, but they stay in the state to experience the opportunities of that community. So wherever we go, and that's one of the things that we've seen with our athletes, it's about getting here and doing the race and having that opportunity, but then it's about how they can experience that community. And so they stay longer than they stay for any other Ironman 70.3 event. And in St. George, Utah, it was over $62 million in economic impact in 2022.
Wow. Okay. Well, how many athletes do you then, Ein touched upon this, but we have a separate day for the women and a separate day for the men. How many athletes usually compete in the 70.3 World Championships?
So we could have up to 7,000 athletes actually attempt to qualify and to register. And then throughout the year, there's some shifting around and some people may not be able to make it, but we anticipate in 2025 having over 6,000 athletes participate. Typically on the men's day, there's more men racing. We've had up to close to 4,000 men. But as we see women in sport excelling and women in sport that growing in the excitement, we anticipate the growth in the women's race as well.
Moving back to you, Shane. The next steps in the selection process, how does this play out?
Yeah, so we have obviously a lot of interest in an event like this. Certainly among our circuit, we have more than 95 70.3 events around the world. We trimmed what was originally around 15 communities down to 3 finalists, of which Tallinn is one of them. Marbella in Spain being another one, and St. George in Utah, which has been the host of this event in the past, being the third. So we're in the middle of our visit here. We're going through all the technical details related to obviously the ability to host what is a very large event. Right? It carries a lot of unique needs. You know, Diana has an entire team of 15 people that all they do is put on those events around the world, and we're vetting that. So we'll go through that process, and we'll obviously come back with questions and thoughts to each community, and then we expect probably by midsummer that we'll make a final determination on where the 25 event will be.
And to get specific, why was Tallinn chosen as one of the 3? What are the characteristics and the key elements that stand out here?
Yeah, and I touched on this briefly before. You know, obviously the work that's been done here has been tremendous for our brand. We have a great local partner in Ein and his team, but also the city. And I'm going to go off just a tangent slightly because I have an opportunity here to thank this community. We all have gone through a really difficult time over probably the last 3 years or so, right? And certainly in an endurance sports business, you know, to hit in the mouth in March of 2020 with a global pandemic was extremely challenging on our business as well as anyone. And I haven't had a chance to thank both the mayor, the city, and Ein. Tallinn was the first place to have an Ironman event in September of 2020, when the world was living in fear and afraid to do much of anything. this is the first place that had an Ironman event after really what happened to us in March. So on behalf of the Ironman group, I'd be remiss if I didn't take this opportunity with a mic in my face to say thank you to the mayor and to this community and Ein. And that's part of why we are here. You know, what we do is extremely difficult and extremely challenging. And to be able to work through that and to show the commitment to sport and commitment to us really mattered to us. And I think is part of one of the reasons that you guys are a finalist. You showed that commitment and we appreciate that. Thank you. So thank you.
Thank you. Henrik, moving over to you. Seeing that there might be a possibility that we follow up on a 2023 World Championship in Lahti, then we come here with a World Championship in 2025. What does that mean for your region, your area of responsibility?
Of course, it means a lot that we once again possibly get the opportunity to host a 70.3 World Championship in our region. We've been a long-standing partner with Ein and the team here in Estonia, and they do an incredible job and has done so over the years. And I mean, already for this year, we're putting the European Championship on top here as a sort of a recognition of the importance of the event and how well they perform here. So the possibility to take this to the next level for the World Championship is great for our region, and also shows the interest of athletes going to this region and going north to compete and travel.
Thank you. Tarvi, we've heard what it means from a corporate standpoint, but what would this mean for Estonia, a race like this, a World Championship?
Well, it means a lot. Estonian government and the Ministry of Culture have been trying to put a lot of emphasis on big international competitions, and especially those which have significant economic impact. So this is definitely one of these. We also see that it also has a very important impact to sport itself, to organizations. I love the ambition of Ein and his team. It's amazing. They have been doing a really excellent job organizing these events, especially through these tough years. As we heard, it's always the first after the COVID started. So, it means a lot, and it's one of the competitions which was an example to force also the different support measures of the state to help organizing these things.
And it has a huge positive impact on health. I mean, you know, everyone sees a possibility, what can be possible.
This is a wider goal. Estonia has set the goal that at least 2/3 of the population be regularly active, and of course, this is inspiration.
Thank you. Michael, how do you see the past and the future of the cooperation between Ironman Tallinn and the Ironman Estonia organization?
The past is good and the future is better.
Short and sweet.
But I'm sure that Tallinn is the best place for the Ironman World Championships, because first of all, Tallinn is the best city in the world, and second, we have here the best organizer in the world. So I don't see any choice, and I hope that our guests they have the same feeling.
So for you, it's a done deal. It's already chosen.
Yes, but unfortunately, it's not the decision of city government. But for Tallinn, so first of all, it's a great promotion for the sport. And 2025, Tallinn is a European capital of sports. And this is not only about sport, it's about way of life. Where are our athletes? Yes, so they are the role model for the younger generation. So that's why it's very important for us. And why it's important for us also, many tourists, many guests, they bring money, not for Tallinn, for state, but it's okay for us also. And of course, we are interested to develop tourism in our city. So, and this is the best way, actually. Conferences, tournaments, especially sport events, because me personally, I like sport. So, and that's why we are very thankful for organizers, and we are very thankful for our guests that, of course, they are still thinking, as I see. But this is a good signal.
It's a good signal, and one day we might see one of you or both on the start line of the races.
Yes, every year is the same story. Press conference, and I say yes, I remember that I promised many years ago that one day I will participate also, but not today.
No.
And please don't ask me next year.
Okay, I'll write that down actually now. Yes, perfect. So, in the best case, 70.3 World Championships right here in Tallinn in 2025. Fingers crossed. There are maybe some questions in the audience. Please, if you have a question, raise your hand. We will bring you a microphone. Once you get a microphone, please start by stating your name and the publication, and then, of course, followed by who you want to address, and then your question. Hannes will also join me on stage at this point. His Estonian is a lot better than mine. So, yeah, please, any questions at this point?
It's awfully quiet, like it is usually in Estonia. I think we can start off with a question from the internet. The comment was, it all seems like a great change to the event. What is the elevation of the run course? Mis on siis selle kõrguste vahe, jooksuraja kõrguste vahe, oli küsimus internetis.
Jaa, eesti keeles, inglise keeles.
The question was actually asking in English. So
okay, we go in English. The question was regarding the run course elevation, and it's 74 meters is as an altitude change over the course. So I think it's really, really flat. So there's a gentle rise towards Rocca al Mare school, and also on the way back to finish as well. But it's really, really fast. The gradient is really small as well. So I would say it's a perfect way to have a fast course, a little bit variety on the surface, and not many sharp turns. And then I think it's going to be extremely fast.
Right, thank you. Anybody else who's present or who's in the internet watching? Nobody.
If not, there's, of course, a chance for one-on-one interviews afterwards. Ain, you look like you have something to say. No?
Just keep holding the microphone. Right.
Well,
another question.
If no questions, thank you very much to the people watching and to the people present. Fingers crossed, 2025.
Right. Awesome. We'll see you on the 5th and 6th of August.
And we are live from beautiful Tallinn, Estonia for Ironman 2022. Isn't it gorgeous here, Robson?
It definitely is. We have 2,500 athletes experiencing thousands of years of Nordic history through the streets of Tallinn, throughout the different courses all weekend long. A lot to see and a lot to feel.
Well, that's true. We have people from around 65 countries who have trained for months, some of them for years, to take this challenge by the horns and enjoy this unforgettable journey.
But now it's time. Are you ready, Tanya?
Oh, yes, I am. 3, 2, 1, let's go.
And we are out of the water and on the road.
Estonia has one of the fastest Ironman biking courses of all time.
It can be wind still, we can have howling winds, but you're exposed to fields, forests, and sea banks along the cycle route. And now there's one final push to go.
Tallinn has one of the best preserved UNESCO old towns in Europe.
It feels like a journey through Estonian history from start to finish. But before the first athletes get here, look at our finish, a sight which no participant will ever forget. Becoming an Ironman in an actual seaplane harbor museum next to a submarine.
I guess it can and more perfectly.
And here they are, one after another. What a weekend full of emotions, community, and inspiration.
That's why we all love Ironman.
See you all next year in Tallinn.